Hi there, welcome back to my coaching channel. Today we're going to be starting a new series called How to Use Your Strengths, and we'll be applying each strength to different scenarios that might show up. For our first video, we're going to start with Relator. Relator is part of the relationship building domain. Themes in that domain are all about the people. And for Relator specifically, Relator loves and cherishes really deep friendships. And they're very committed people and will invest highly in friendships. Something else to note about those who lead with Relator is that not only do they really care about having deep friendships, they also feel so much satisfaction when that group of close friends accomplishes something together. They have common values, a common mission that they all agree upon, and will act upon that after. Paradoxically, those with Relator tend not to like meeting new people. And that sounds a little strange because it's like, well, you need to meet new people to make deep friendships. But let's say Relator is a little bit more about meaningful relationships. They don't like superficial acquaintances. They don't spend a lot of their energy there. They would rather find their close friends, folks who have similar hobbies, again, a similar mission or values, and invest in that close-knit relationship. For those who have Relator, they find their energy to get easily depleted when maybe they're at a party and they're having the same conversation with each person. How's the weather? Where's your hometown? What do you do for work? Having those kind of superficial conversations at a party really drains them out, and they'll end up just in the corner again with their really close friends, where they're talking about their dreams, their goals, their friendships, or they talk about their vulnerabilities and what are they trying to achieve tomorrow, or what books they've been reading. Those with Relator have very few close friends, but they run really deep. Let's talk about how Relator might show up in a work context. For someone who has Relator and they might be at work, let's say in the office, these are the folks who tend to have lunch with the same group of people, or if they need help with something, they have a few trusted folks to go to their door first and say, knock, 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 hey, can you look over this for me? And on the outside, that might look a little exclusive. And that's genuinely not the intent of Relator. Relator just feels so much more comfortable eating with, engaging with people they already have a close connection with. If someone with Relator is tasked with a big project, they already know in their head exactly who they're going to recruit for this big project and how to execute it while still having fun. But here's a note for those who are managers and might have Relator. As a manager, you might have many direct reports, 3, 4, maybe 10. And so remembering that you have to cater to each individual person with what their needs and how to support them in their roles, consider how Relator might influence how you support each person. Because with Relator, there might be a few direct reports that you naturally connect with, right? That you have natural fun with, or you feel like you have similar values and you align with them quickly. You don't want that to show up as leaving your other direct reports out, or that you have favorites. And of course, for Relator, that's not what you're thinking and that's not what your actions are about. That just may be how you're perceived. And so if you are a manager and you run or support a big team, just be mindful of how you are engaging with each of your direct reports. That way it's equitable, it's fair, and that you're making deep, close connections with each person. Regardless if you're a manager or an individual contributor, something to keep in mind that's going to help you be successful at work is to have one-on-one time with your colleagues. Having that one-on-one time with your manager or with a vice president, even if it's once a quarter, will help you not only build a strong relationship, it will also help you feel a better sense of belonging at work, especially if you're new to a role. I highly recommend committing to one-on-one meetings with your teammates, with your colleagues, folks across the business, so that not only are you increasing your network, but you're also building trust. You're building real, meaningful relationships across the board. And of course, with Relator, this takes time. This takes investment. So here's how you can plan ahead. Just connect with someone and say, hey, I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate what you do at work. I know it's a little bit different from what I do, but I find that inspiring and I want to keep connecting with you. Would that be okay? Of course, they'll most likely say yes. And make that a reoccurring event on your calendar. Once a quarter on a Thursday at 3 o'clock local time, you're engaging with somebody outside of your business. But you're using your relator strength, that investment, that deep care for other people, in a more sustainable way so you won't lead to burnout at work. But again, those one-on-one connections and time you're making with your teammates, your colleagues, and those beyond at different areas of work is going to help you build your own confidence for you to do your job well. Now, let's talk about relator in personal life. What's really interesting and intriguing about those with relator in regards to their personal life is that, yes, they do have close, tight-knit friends, but these are friends for the long haul. Folks with relator are going to have friendships from when they're like 3 years old, from 6th grade, from high school. And these folks are already 40, 50, and 60, and they're still calling up their friends to hang out, grab a beer, work on a backyard project together. I love and appreciate that longevity that relator is all about. Consistently investing in those friendships for the long term. So yeah, maybe they have 4 really good friends, but those 4 friends are going to show up for each other. You show up for them and they show up for you. And that's really important to consider in personal life with those with relator, is just making sure your friendships and relationships are reciprocal. And they tend to be because relators love to have conversation around values and experiences, and they really value in itself transparency. So I want to take a moment and talk about what happens when someone breaks your trust. What happens when maybe a friendship is disappointing you? You're not feeling as satisfied with it, or maybe somebody hurts your feelings and they don't even know it. Because relator relies on their values and transparency and communication, I'm asking you to be courageous and let your friend know what's going on. Again, because you have relator, your friendships are meaningful. More likely than not, these are friends who want to say, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. What can I do to repair it? What can I do to fix it? But with relator, you might get so hurt that someone maybe lied to you or broke a promise because you keep your friendship so close and near and dear to you. But remember, you have to value yourself and you deserve to let go of your worries, your sadness, or anxiety. And so I encourage you to talk to your friend who has maybe disappointed you recently and say, hey, I really value our friendship. I love you. I care about you, but I'm feeling this way. Can we talk about that? And your friend will most likely say, oh my gosh, yes, I had no idea. Something I want to reiterate with relator is to not be afraid to ask for what you need. And to be honest, that's actually really good advice for anybody. But with relator in particular, because you have such deep friendships and you're deeply committed to your friends at work or your friends at home or your family, asking for what you need actually allows those people around you to love you better. When you share what you need at work, your manager is going to be able to support you better because you share that you needed support or needed more time off. All right, my friends, that was just a few ways of how you can use relator in your own life. Tell me what you think. How do you use relator in your own life? Or maybe you heard something from this video that resonated with you. Leave a comment below and I would love to learn from you what you felt connected to. If you enjoy this content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to discover your strengths, reach out on my website and I'd love to connect with you further. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.